family thought the nightmare was finally over after defeating the evil spirits, but they had no idea that something far more terrifying had already escaped and was secretly living among them. What happens next will reveal the shocking truth behind Josh Lambert's strange behavior. This is Insidious, Chapter 2. The story begins in 1986. A young psychic named Elise arrives at the Lambert family's house. She comes because her friend and fellow psychic Carl asked for her help. Lorraine Lambert welcomes Elise into the house. Lorraine is the mother of a young boy named Josh. Josh has been suffering because a dark spirit keeps haunting him. Carl had already tried to help Josh by himself. However, the evil spirit was much stronger than Carl expected. He realized the case was too dangerous for him, so he called Elise because she had much more experience with supernatural cases. Before starting the investigation, Carl warned Elise that this case was extremely dangerous. Lorraine then shows Elise several photos of Josh. In every photo, a woman dressed in black is standing behind Josh. Elise immediately senses a powerful evil presence inside the house. She asks to speak with Josh alone. Elise starts interviewing Josh while recording everything. She notices that Josh is very scared. To help him remember what he has seen, Elise hypnotizes him. She tells him to relax and focus completely. While under hypnosis, Josh says the mysterious woman is still with him. Elise carefully asks where the spirit is hiding. Josh points toward the closet in his bedroom. Elise slowly walks toward the closet to investigate. Before she reaches it, an invisible force suddenly attacks her. The attack injures her hand and forces her to stop. Elise realizes the spirit is warning her to stay away. After thinking carefully, Elise discovers the truth. Josh has a rare ability called astral projection. His soul can leave his body and travel into another world while he sleeps. Although this ability is special, it also puts him in great danger. Powerful spirits from a dark place called the Further can find him easily. Without knowing it, Josh has attracted a dangerous spirit. The woman in black wants to take control of his body. She is the same figure that appears in every photograph of Josh. Elise tells Lorraine that Josh's memories of his ability must be erased. She also tells Lorraine to stop taking pictures of Josh. This will slowly weaken Josh's connection to the spirit world. If the connection becomes weak, the evil spirit will no longer be able to reach him. While Elise is explaining everything, something strange suddenly happens. Josh, who is still under hypnosis, stands by himself. He silently points toward one of the doors. A few moments later, the door slowly opens on its own. Everyone in the room is shocked and terrified. They realize the danger is becoming much worse. Finally, they decide to erase Josh's memories to protect him. The story then returns to the present day. Renee is still heartbroken after Elise's sudden death. Josh suddenly appears behind her and startles her. Josh and Lorraine are both devastated by losing Elise. They quickly call an ambulance for help. Later, Renee is taken to the police station for questioning. She explains everything that happened that night. She even shows the police a photo of the woman in black. However, the detectives refuse to believe her story. They think her explanation is impossible. Instead, they begin to suspect Josh. They discover bruises on Elise's neck that suggest she was strangled by a person. Meanwhile, the police continue searching the house for evidence. If they find proof against Josh, he will become the main suspect in Elise's murder. While the investigation continues, Josh moves his family to Lorraine's house. Renee, Dalton, Foster, and Callie stay there for safety. On their first night, Renee is alone in the kitchen. She suddenly hears someone playing the piano. The music's a song that she wrote herself. She goes to the piano room to check, but the room is completely empty. A short time later, Renee hears baby Callie crying. When Renee goes to check on Callie, she finds the baby sleeping peacefully. She returns to the piano room. A moment later, she hears Callie crying again. Renee quickly runs back to the nursery. This time, Callie is missing from her crib. A few seconds later, Callie suddenly appears again. These strange events convince Renee that the haunting is not over. Renee tells Josh everything that happened, but Josh refuses to believe her. He thinks her fear is caused by everything they recently experienced. Josh tells Renee to stop worrying because he believes their family is finally safe. That night, Tucker and Specs visit Elise's house to uncover the truth behind her death. Their search leads them to Elise's basement, where she once helped her clients. While searching the room, they discover many old recordings. One of them shows Elise investigating Josh when he was a child. As they watch the video, they see young Josh talking to someone that no one else can see. Tucker and Specs realize he is communicating with an invisible spirit. Later that night, Lorraine suddenly wakes up and decides to check on her grandchildren. She sits beside Dalton's bed, and while he is sleeping, and he says that someone is standing behind her. Lorraine quickly turns around, but there is nobody there. Feeling uneasy, Lorraine walks through the house. Suddenly, Callie's baby walker starts moving by itself. She also keeps hearing footsteps in the hallway, but every time she checks, the hallway is empty. The strange events continue until she goes into the bathroom to take her medicine. As she looks into the mirror, she briefly sees a woman dressed in white standing behind her. She quickly turns around, but no one is there. A moment later, Josh suddenly appears and startles her. Lorraine tells Josh about the woman she saw, but Josh refuses to believe her. He insists that none of it is real and asks her to stop talking about ghosts because he does not want Renee to become even more frightened. The next morning, Dalton tells Renee about a terrible nightmare. In the dream, he saw a woman dressed in white standing behind Lorraine. He also says he heard Josh talking to someone in the hallway, even though nobody else was there. Dalton feels that something is different about his father. He asks Renee if she has noticed any changes in Josh. Renee tries to comfort him and says that everything is only his imagination. Later, while Renee is home alone, she receives a phone call from the police. They inform her that Josh has been cleared of any involvement in Elise's death. She feels relieved, but her relief does not last long. Soon, the woman in white appears again and terrifies her. At the same time, Lorraine secretly meets Tucker and Specs. She believes the nightmare haunting her family is far from over. Tucker and Specs agree with her. They believe everything is still connected to Josh. To prove it, they show Lorraine an old recording from the time Elise investigated Josh as a child. In the video, an adult Josh is standing behind his younger self. Lorraine is completely shocked because the recording was made many years ago. She cannot understand how an adult Josh could appear in it. Feeling hopeless, Lorraine wishes Elise were still alive. Her words inspire Tucker and Specs to contact Carl, one of Elise's closest friends. Carl performs a seance to communicate with Elise's spirit. During the seance, Carl asks who killed Elise and what the evil spirit wants. Through the answers they receive, they learn that the bride in black is responsible for Elise's death. The spirit also tells them to go to a place called Our Lady of the Angels. Lorraine immediately recognizes the name. It is an abandoned hospital where she once worked many years ago. Without wasting time, the group travels to the abandoned hospital. They carefully search through the dark building. Carl senses a powerful evil presence coming from one of the ICU rooms. As soon as Lorraine sees the room, she remembers a former patient named Parker Crane. Years ago, Parker was admitted after seriously harming himself. While Lorraine worked at the hospital, she sometimes brought young Josh with her. During one visit, Parker suddenly grabbed Josh for no clear reason. The strange incident stayed in Lorraine's memory. A few days later, Lorraine saw Parker standing alone inside an elevator. He remained completely silent and stared straight ahead without saying a word. Later, Lorraine asked a hospital employee about Parker. She was shocked to learn that Parker had already died the day before after jumping from the hospital building. Realizing Parker may be connected to the haunting, the group searches the hospital records. They find Parker Crane's home address and immediately travel there. After arriving at Parker's house, they search every room for clues. Tucker and Specs discover what appears to be Parker's childhood bedroom. Surprisingly, the room is decorated like a young girl's bedroom. Before they can investigate further, a mysterious young girl suddenly appears and warns them to leave the house before it is too late. Meanwhile, Lorraine discovers an old painting of a young girl and her mother. She realizes the mother in the painting is the same woman in white who has been haunting her family. As she studies the painting, a chandelier suddenly crashes down and almost hits her. At the same moment, Carl senses an overwhelming evil presence inside the house. He tries to contact Elise's spirit again. However, Carl soon realizes that the spirit answering him is not Elise. It is Parker Crane's mother, the woman in white who has secretly been behind the terrifying events all along. Meanwhile, Tucker hears a strange noise behind a bookshelf, and after moving it aside, the group discovers a hidden room. A terrible smell fills the air as they step inside. Hidden in the room are the preserved bodies of 15 women. They also find newspaper articles about a serial killer known as the Bride in Black. To their horror, every victim in the articles matches the bodies hidden in the room. They also discover the black wedding dress worn by the killer. The moment Carl touches the dress, he experiences a terrifying vision. The vision reveals the shocking truth. The Bride in Black is actually Parker Crane. Throughout his life, Parker was controlled by his cruel mother. She forced him to kill any woman who reminded him that he was a man or made him feel attracted to them. Even after his death, Parker never found peace. Instead, he continued haunting Josh because Josh's astral projection ability made him the perfect target. Parker's ultimate goal is to steal Josh's body and return to the world of the living. At the same time, Renee wakes up after being attacked by the woman in white. She begs Josh to leave the house immediately. Josh refuses. He believes running away will not solve anything because the spirits will follow them wherever they go. During their conversation, Josh begins speaking about death as if he has experienced it himself. His strange behavior makes Renee suspect that something is terribly wrong. Soon after, they hear someone playing the piano. When they check the room, nobody is there. Renee recognizes the melody as a song she wrote for Josh many years ago. Shockingly, Josh says he does not remember the song at all. This makes Renee even more suspicious because it was a very special memory between them. Later that night, Dalton wakes up after hearing a voice through his toy telephone. At first, he thinks Foster is playing with him. Then he notices that the toy telephone leads directly into his closet. Suddenly, a frightened woman steps out of the closet. She reveals that she was one of the Bride in Black's murder victims. She also tells Dalton that 15 other spirits were murdered by the same killer. Dalton realizes he has entered the Further once again. Terrified, he struggles to wake himself. Fortunately, Renee arrives just in time and calms him down. Meanwhile, Josh sits alone holding a baseball bat while talking to someone who is invisible. After he leaves, the truth is finally revealed. Josh's real soul is still trapped inside the Further. The person living inside Josh's body is actually Parker Crane. The real Josh has been trying to contact Renee by playing her song on the piano. Sadly, none of his attempts succeed because Parker's control over his body is too strong. Without realizing it, the Lambert family has been living with an evil spirit pretending to be Josh. The next day, Lorraine secretly meets with Renee and tells her the truth. She warns that Josh's body has been possessed by Parker Crane. She explains that Josh's real soul is still trapped inside the Further after saving Dalton. Lorraine tells Renee to keep herself and the children away from Josh because Parker may kill again. At the same time, Carl, Specs, and Tucker create a plan to stop Parker. They decide to knock Josh unconscious so his real soul will have a chance to return to his body. Soon after, Carl arrives at the house to confirm his suspicions. The moment he sees Josh, he notices something is wrong. Josh's skin has become pale and his body looks like it is slowly decaying under Parker's influence. Carl realizes the truth and calls him Parker Crane. As soon as Parker hears his real name, he becomes furious and violently attacks Carl. Specs and Tucker rush in to help, but Parker easily overpowers them. All three men are left unconscious. When Carl wakes up, he finds himself inside the Further. There, he finally meets Josh's real soul. Together, they begin searching for Elise because they believe only she can help stop Parker. While traveling through the Further, they meet a spirit who warns them that Callie is in danger. The spirit directs them to the Lambert family's old house. Josh and Carl immediately go there. They see the man with the leather jacket threatening baby Callie in her bedroom. Josh desperately tries to save his daughter. He pounds on the front door, and strangely, the sounds could be heard by his family in the past. Josh finally realizes that many of the mysterious events from the first movie were actually caused by him while he was trapped inside the Further. Because time does not exist normally in the Further, the past, present, and future all exist together. Spirits can affect events from different moments in time. Josh enters the house and finds Callie being attacked by the leather jacket spirit. Just before the spirit can harm her, Elise appears and drives it away. Elise tells Josh that he cannot stay in the Further much longer because his soul is becoming weaker. She explains that the only way to defeat Parker is to face the person who controlled him throughout his life. That person is Parker's cruel mother. Josh does not know where Parker's house is located. Fortunately, time works differently inside the Further. Elise takes Josh back to the moment when he was a young boy under hypnosis. She asks young Josh to lead them to Parker's house. Young Josh suddenly stands up and leads them forward. This finally explains why adult Josh appeared in Elise's old recording many years ago. It also explains why the bedroom door opened by itself during Josh's hypnosis. It was caused by Josh, Carl, and Elise traveling through the Further. With the mystery finally solved, they continue their journey toward Parker Crane's house to end the nightmare once and for all. At the same time, Renee and Lorraine receive a message from Specs saying that Josh has been knocked unconscious. Believing he is safe, they quickly return to the house. However, the message was actually sent by Parker Crane to lure them into a trap. When they arrive, Josh is sitting quietly in the house. A few moments later, Parker suddenly attacks Renee and Lorraine.
Ungrateful bitch!
Just before Parker can kill Renee, Dalton and Foster arrive and distract him. The family escapes and hides in the basement while Parker chases them. Meanwhile, Josh, Carl, and Elise finally reach Parker Crane's house in the Further. Inside, they meet a young child who is revealed to be Parker Crane. Soon, a woman dressed in white appears. She is Parker's mother. She constantly insults, controls, and emotionally abuses Parker. She forces him to live as a little girl named Marilyn instead of allowing him to be himself. Josh and Carl finally understand the truth. Parker became the bride in black because his mother controlled him for his entire life. Even after death, her spirit continued forcing him to obey her and commit terrible crimes. When Parker's mother realizes that strangers have entered her home, she separates Josh from Carl and Elise. Josh is forced to face her alone. Meanwhile, Elise encourages young Parker to stand up to his mother and break free from her control. Back in the real world, the situation becomes even more dangerous. Dalton realizes that only he can find his father. Using his astral projection ability, he enters the Further once again. At the same time, Parker finally breaks through the basement door where Renee and the children are hiding. Renee desperately protects her children as Parker moves closer. Just as Parker is about to attack Dalton, Elise defeats Parker's mother in the further. The moment her control is broken, Parker loses all of his power. His spirit is finally destroyed, freeing Josh's body. Elise quickly tells Josh and Carl to leave the further before they become trapped forever. They make their way through countless wandering spirits. Fortunately, Dalton finds them and guides Josh back to his body. Josh's soul finally returns and he wakes up as his true self. Renee is afraid at first because she worries Parker may still be inside him. Josh proves he is real by remembering the special piano song that Renee wrote for him. Renee finally knows that her husband is truly returned. After everything they have endured, the Lambert family is finally reunited. Josh and Dalton ask Carl to erase their memories of astral projection once again. They hope this will permanently cut their connection to the further and keep evil spirits away. In the final scene, Specs and Tucker investigate another haunted house. They are called to help a young girl named Allison who is experiencing strange supernatural events. While they are inside the house, Allison's younger sister says that a woman is standing behind Specs and Tucker. The woman is revealed to be Elise's spirit, still watching over her friends even after death. Elise enters the house and examines Allison. As she looks closer, she notices a terrifying dark entity standing directly behind the girl. The shocking discovery reveals that another nightmare is about to begin. With that chilling moment, the movie comes to an end. If you want to know what happens next, Insidious Chapter 3 is already uploaded on this channel. Watch it now to continue the terrifying story. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new movie recap.